العلاقات بين الشعبين السوداني والبريطاني تاريخي، عندنا تاريخ طويل. One of the elements of our new strategic dialogue with the government of Sudan is to look at ways of encouraging increased economic and investment cooperation. Water is a fundamental issue here in Sudan. It's absolutely central to health and the economy.
Welcome to Al Manara Water Treatment Plant. This was a project, 95 million euro in value, designed and built between 2007-2010. So we have now been in operation for over 6 years, and we produce 200,000 cubic meters per day, or 200 million liters per day of drinking water, and we produce that water to a quality better than the World Health Organization standards. Project is what is called a PPP, a public-private partnership, under a BOOT project, which is a build, own, operate, transfer project, where Al Manara Water Company has 3 shareholders, one being the Khartoum State Water Corporation, Bywater, which is the company that I work for, and we are responsible for managing the operation of the project, and the FMO, which is the Dutch Development Bank, who provided part of the loans to build the project. So of the 95 million euros, 24 was provided as a grant by the Dutch government, and the other 71 was split between 3 development banks, one from South Africa, one from Malaysia, and the FMO from Holland. And we're now in year 6 of that operation. However, we are now in negotiations with the government to extend our operation period here from the original 10 years to a further 20 years. So we will hopefully be here until 2036, responsible to operate the plant and deliver the water to the people of Omdurman.
What we're doing with Mashrui, and we have been doing now, this is the 4th year of Mashrui, which is this, it's more than a television program, but it's a television program with Blue Nile TV to encourage entrepreneurship, supported by the British government through the British Council, and we think it's been a real success.
أهم إنجازات مشروعي تحديدا إنه في كل سنة إلى الآن بنحاول ندرب أكثر من 1000 شاب وشابة على ريادة الأعمال وعلى التخصصات المختلفة الموجودة في ريادة الأعمال، واكتشفنا من خلال سيرفي بسيط عملناه إنه 80% من المتدربين أو بيتلقوا التدريب بيمشوا في إنهم يعني يفتحوا البزنس بتاعهم.
كانت الفكرة إنه أجيب مادة بتكلفة قليلة متوفرة محليا في إنتاج المدابغ تكون صديقة للبيئة.
is working to build engagements and cooperation with the government of Sudan. Part of the UK presence here is about how we can deepen engagement in areas where we have shared interest and where we can build cooperation. And a key area at present is migration. Sudan is both a source and a transit country for migrants travelling to Europe who make a risky journey open to kidnap, trafficking and death at sea. And Sudan is also a destination country for migrants, hosting hundreds of thousands of refugees from across the region. In 2014, the European Union and countries in the Horn of Africa signed up to an initiative called the Khartoum Process. and this is a mechanism for dialogue and collective action to address common challenges between the countries of origin, transit and destination for migrants.
Provisions of the migration policy framework for Africa, and one of the 6 key priority areas is the plan of action on employment, poverty eradication and inclusive development. It is also one of the key strategies of the African Union Agenda 2063.
We hope to continue this work to see tangible results that will improve the management of migration in Sudan and also ensure better outcomes for vulnerable refugees and migrants.
The UK is investing heavily in bringing peace to Sudan. We do this through our support for 2 peacekeeping missions, UNAMID in Darfur and UNISFA in Abyei. And we do it also through our direct support for peace-building programs in Darfur. The UK is contributing £48 million annually for UNAMID and a further £12 million annually for UNISFA in Abyei. UNAMID has 3 main responsibilities in Darfur, the most important of which is the protection of civilians. UNAMID also provide escorts for humanitarian convoys and ensure the safety and security of humanitarian personnel. And the third responsibility for them is mediation between the government of Sudan and the armed rebel groups. And they also provide support for local level mediation in Darfur.
DFID has had a presence here in Sudan for many years, focusing largely on humanitarian assistance, but increasingly looking at issues around water, around governance, and around economic development as well. And so we seek to be engaged both with the Sudanese government here, but also with civil society groups and community groups, both here in Khartoum, but of course elsewhere across the country.
DFID currently has a £50 million a year programme, and we're just about to launch our new business plan, which will determine our engagement here in Sudan for the next 5 years. The business plan is based around 5 core objectives. The first of those is about providing life-saving humanitarian support, particularly to those who are affected by conflict. The second objective is about ensuring that people have got access to basic services. And we have a major focus in our programme on providing water and sanitation throughout the country. This is a big initiative for us, very closely linked as well to our programming on climate change.
جزء من المشاريع حقتنا عندها علاقة بتوفير مياه صالحة للشرب، مركز على الأماكن الريفية. عندنا مشاريع بتغطي ولايات شرق السودان ال3 و4 ولايات في غرب السودان. الفكرة الأساسية من المشاريع دي أنها تقوم تساعد في عملية توفير المياه الصالحة للشرب يعني، وبرضه لأغراض الزراعة والصحة الحيوانية.
The third objective is focused on providing support to women and girls, with a particular focus on ending female genital cutting, which is a big issue here in Sudan. The fourth objective is about being able to build inclusive economic growth. The final area of engagement is about trying to build a platform of good governance, trying to work with a range of different actors, including the government, to make sure that there is good laws, a good constitutional basis, to make sure that there is inclusive governance so that people's voice is heard and that the demands that citizens make of their leaders are respected and services delivered to those people.
work in English in Sudan. Here in the teaching centre, we teach over 4,000 students a year on quite a wide range of courses, including public courses for adults, for young learners, children as young as 7 come and study with us at the weekends, as well as a range of courses for the corporate sector, which focus on professional development. And really it's about building up language skills to help young Sudanese access international opportunities and improve their prospects for study and employment.
So from the context of the sentence or the general meaning of the sentence, I need you with your partner to decide what does that word mean. And then you do the same thing for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8.
One of the things that kind of makes us different, one of the reasons why people choose to study English with us, is the fact that we have a communicative approach to language teaching and learning. So there's an emphasis on teaching people how to use the language in real and authentic ways. Lots of emphasis on speaking and listening activities in pairs and small groups. Another important aspect of our work is our examination services, and over 9,000 people take either a UK or professional exam with us each year in order to either improve their employment prospects or in order to access study abroad. So that's another important part of our work. Within the area of English, another important thing that we do is through our collaboration with the Ministry of Education. So over 250,000 of teachers have been trained through our teacher training program. And we're also working in conjunction with the Ministry to reform the English language curriculum for primary learners, which when completed will mean that every primary learner of English in Sudan has access to these new materials.
Shakespeare lives, and all around the world, in the hundreds of countries in which we work, for the next several months, we'll be celebrating Shakespeare, the most read, studied, quoted writer in the world.
Who shall brave the wonders in this shade, when the eternal lines to time to growth.
Shakespeare has taken deep roots in almost every writer, I think so. But then, in terms of workshop and bringing up his works live and celebrating him, this is my first time, and we're not only celebrating Shakespeare, we're celebrating ourselves. We're celebrating the arts and also our African being, our African identity.
Like Hawaii, man or woman, it doesn't matter. We are all human. Peace, compassion, and tenderness in the hatred, and bring us happiness.
صنع في السودان دعما للمنتج السوداني ودعما للشباب السوداني اللي شغال في منتجات مختلفة يدوية وجلدية وفنية وغيرها.
The British Embassy consular team provide assistance to British nationals who get themselves into difficulty while they're overseas, as well as providing more normal consular services here at the Embassy. When you're visiting another country, it's very easy to get into difficulty, whether that be lost documents, lost money, or more serious things like hospitalisation, becoming the victim of crime, or perhaps even being arrested. The main thing is to be prepared. And you can do that very effectively by keeping an eye on our travel advice. We update that regularly with all the information that you may or may not need during your visit. And then if you do get into difficulty, we will always do our best to help you wherever you are within the country, and we'll try to link you up with the best people to help you in your particular circumstances.
To apply for a UK visa, you need to complete an application online and make an appointment to attend the British Embassy in Khartoum, where you can submit your application. You should bring with you all your supporting documents to submit with your application. These documents need to be entirely in English or Welsh, otherwise you will need to provide a full translation.
Sudan is an important country and an important region, in a very sensitive region. It's between the Arab world and Africa, the Sahel and the Red Sea, so it's a very strategic region. And what we really want is to see a peaceful Sudan, a prosperous Sudan, a Sudan where the people's needs are being met by the government, and playing a positive and role in the stability of the region.